First things first, you've seen a few of these contests over the years. I mean, are we dealing with these MPs with the most fickle electorate in the world?
Oh, well, that's what they said, and it always feels like it. And right now, of course, the discussion that they are having, that is, the candidates are having, although it is portrayed to all of us, through television or whatever, it's actually, that discussion is a discussion for which they're trying to influence 300 or so votes, you see. So that is why there's this disconnect right now between what it is that they're talking about and what it is that the country wants them to talk about. But they're going to have to get on to that second part soon, whoever they are, actually.
No,
because,
I've been looking for years and years. What do you think about the calibre of the candidates? I mean, I heard Liam Fox yesterday saying how the debate had shown how spoilt the Conservative Party was for talent. And I thought, well, Liam, I've agreed with many of the things you said over the years, but not that. I mean, this is not very impressive, is it?
It's not doing very well, actually, for the party, I think. If you're watching it from outside and you're thinking not just who's going to, get a few more votes than next, but who is going to be our next Prime Minister, and you're looking at them, you're not going to be overwhelmingly impressed that there's a whole array of talent sitting in front of you.
But isn't it worse than that? Isn't it worse than that? I mean, a week ago...
I'm being nice about it.
No, I know you are. You've been quite loyal to the party in a way.
I am, because I remain a Conservative and I'm loyal to the party. And actually, what I want them to do is just get on with this awful business, because I think it is pretty awful, get a selection out to the members, get somebody in place, and then stop all the argument and get back together.
So do you think it was a mistake for Boris to go?
I thought that it was getting on to be an inevitable. I don't think, again, that it was particularly the best way of doing it. And frankly, it was quite extraordinary. Every sort of 10 minutes, it seemed, yet another minister resigned. And if you have a process which says 50-odd ministers have got to resign in order for you to be able to change the leader of the party, that doesn't quite look right either. Nothing looks right.
The way Mrs Thatcher went didn't look right. It probably never looks right, does it?
No, I suppose not. And the Conservative Party's always been quite good at getting on with assassination, where it sees it, essential to be.
Better than Labour.
Yeah.
who often duck it. Angela, I mean, these aren't even household names, most of them.
No, well, Rishi Sunak has become a household name, and I think has been rated quite well, looked at from outside. I mean, tax is immensely important. I mean, what we'd all like to do is pay no tax and all the services that we want. Logic says you can't have that. Everybody accepts that we've just gone and spent a lot of money. And so having a sort of sensible, pragmatic way forward, it says this is the plan that's going to get us from A to B, and then we can do C and D, is kind of what is required. And an argument which says tax cuts now, yes, no, doesn't seem to be particularly edifying. And I have to say, Nigel, that if they did cut taxes right now, you've only got to look to see what's been happening to the pound against the dollar over this last period of time, a short period of time, and you can see that the pound will go down further against the dollar. What does that mean to you and me and everybody? It means your imports are going to get more expensive.
And inflation goes higher. I get it. And one of the reasons the pound's going down, and one of the reasons the euro too is going down, and the dollar is so strong, is they are self-sufficient in energy. And you and I have discussed this before, and we're at one on this particular point, that we should be self-sufficient. How is it, with such a vital national strategic debate as self-sufficiency, with the threat? I mean, rationing is now being openly talked about across the whole of the rest of Europe, and here too.
Germany's got its plans in place. I mean, Germany's saying if Nord Stream 1, which is, of course, the big pipeline, gas pipeline to Russia, doesn't reopen after it's shut down for maintenance or whatever was the reason for it, they're going to have to start turning off not just people but industry. And I heard the German discussions on this, and it's just an extreme example of how Europe's got itself into a mess.
We had 2 TV debates
and they haven't touched it.
No mention of this.
although today, of course, what has been published is a rather dense consultation document called, the energy market or electricity market reform, and it's a long document. I think I've got through about a third of it, and certainly...
And it's your subject.
And it's my subject, and I've sort of skipped to the bits that I was looking for. Has it actually grasped the problems with the existing electricity market? Yes. Has it got some propositions for a way forward? Yes, it has. And what the way forward in this context means is that you sort out some of the problems which result in the wholesale market being so high, which is within our own control. But it's all going to take time. And actually, Nigel, I think you're right to say, why aren't they talking about it? That should have been. These are the key. Is a key topic that should have not just been argued about policy 10 years ago, but should have been operationalised. But is it that
they're all committed to net zero? You see, Kemi Badenoch appeared to question net zero,
yes,
but then seemed to row back a little bit on it.
Yes, I think she did. In fact, I think she's been a very impressive performer. I mean, she's... do I dare say that...
Would you vote for her?
I was going to say, do I dare say that I don't think she's going to make it this time? But, I think we've seen a Prime Minister and a leader in the making
and
there.
a thinker.